Okay, folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to do case 52 of criminal case, and second case of 6 in Paradise City. So I want to thank these three for helping me out: Frederick, Paula, Roberto, and Nadilla. Or Nadia, however you want to say it. Death at the Circus. Hey Matthew, is it true you already solved a murder and a robbery? And we've only just arrived in Paradise City. And guess what? I just heard that the circus is in town. Matthew, can we go and have a quick look? The circus is such a fascinating world. The animals, the clowns, the magicians. I don't care much for the circus. Pretty please. Great, surely nothing bad can come from a quick stroll by the circus and some cotton candy. Let's go. But I sped everything up because I was under an unlimited energy happy hour, so I figured I might as well just do that. Oh, that looks pretty bad. Megaphone, that's also a clue. And the dog. 16th already. Oh no, Matthew. That girl. She was hung by the neck with that red rope. She's dead. I agree. The way she's suspended above the stage, it's like someone put her on display on purpose. Matthew, there's no doubt this wasn't an accident. It's another murder. But I see you're already onto something, Matthew. The acrobat on that poster you found looks like the victim. The costumes are identical. And there's a name on the poster too. Annie Capri. You've identified our victim, Matthew. But you're right. Someone wrote "die" on the poster. It's a threat from the killer. And the poster has some white substance smeared on it. Could you collect a sample? Wait, you picked up a megaphone? I see. There's some faded writing on it. Go on, work your magic so we can read it. Autopsy. I'm gonna grab a bunch of stars. I'll be right back. Okay, I've gotten 6 stars, so let's examine the poster first. Wow, that was easy. Nicely done, Matthew. You collected a white substance from the poster you found at the circus. Let's get it to Jan. Okay, 3 hours. Okay, let's get the megaphone now. Ziegfeld. Matthew, the megaphone you found at the crime scene has the owner's name written on it. Ziegfeld. You're right. If this Ziegfeld works in a circus and has a megaphone, chances are he's the ringmaster. So it won't be hard to track down Mr. Ziegfeld and ask him about the victim. Let's go. Orsino Ziegfeld. Okay. What he knows about the victim? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Paradise Circus. Orsino Ziegfeld at your service. How may I entertain you, Commissioner Matthew? We're here on serious business, Mr. Ziegfeld. Commissioner Matthew is investigating the murder of Annie Capri. She performed in your circus as an acrobat, right? What? Annie's dead? But she was my most breathtaking attraction. Annie was the most amazing acrobat who ever walked the earth. I mean, the air. She was going to turn my circus into the most spectacular show in town. What am I going to do without her, Commissioner Matthew? The circus is a tough world and talented artists are hard to find. Well, you can help Commissioner Matthew find her killer. When did you last see Annie, Mr. Ziegfeld? After last night's show, all the circus artists went to a rooftop party. Of course, none of them thought to invite me. If I find out any of them harmed Annie, I'll unleash the tigers on the Commissioner Matthew. Mr. Ziegfeld sounded genuinely upset that Annie's dead. Apparently she was a talented acrobat. Nice catch, Matthew. He also mentioned a rooftop party which Annie must have gone to. Let's go and check it out. Still under a limited energy hour. Flashlight, torn paper. Wooden chest, I got that. Oh. Clown hat and clown shoe. A little stumble towards the end, but that's alright. So I know the victim was at a party here last night. Any new leads on her murder, Matthew? A box full of costumes? Looks like a good place to hide something. Can you search through it, Matthew? And you're so good at restoring torn pieces like these, you'd put a magician to shame. Pretty sure that's the third one. Third coins I got. Let's examine the... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to get a couple more stars. Okay, I got a few more stars. Let's examine the costume box right now. Got me another 9. And another card. 10 of diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the world-famous Commissioner Matthew presents a balloon animal found in the box on the rooftop. Oh, nice. Sorry, Matthew, I know this is a serious clue. There's even some faded writing on the balloon. Can you make it readable again? Bet your booties I'm going to. Couple more. Coco says, play nice, Annie. Matthew, you've uncovered the writing on the balloon animal. It reads, Coco says, play nice, Annie. That message was intended for our victim. But that name, Coco, doesn't that sound that doesn't sound like a real name at all. Someone named Coco who writes on balloon animals. Oh, you genius, Matthew. Coco must be a clown in the circus, of course. Well, hopefully Mr. Coco can still give you some serious answers, even if he's a clown. Let's go talk to him. Never thought I'd see the day. About his message on the balloon animal. What do you want? The circus isn't open yet. Well, I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Coco, but we have some bad news. Bad news? I hope it's not a busload of school children. I'm not in the mood to work overtime. I'm afraid it's worse, Coco. Annie Capri has been murdered. Annie's dead? Great! That's one less person pointing and laughing at me today. Anything else? You're happy that your colleague died? That's very insensitive, even for a grumpy clown like you, not to mention suspicious. Did you have a workplace conflict with Annie? Is that what you meant by your message on the balloon animal telling her to play nice? Ah, Commissioner Matthew, you don't know anything about circus life. Being laughed at isn't so easy, especially when it's your fellow artists who make fun of you. Now, excuse me, I had to practice falling over my own shoes for tonight's performance. Come back tonight if you like. Or don't, what do I care? Torn paper now. a lot of 9s, just like last night in bowling. Good work, Matthew. You've restored the torn paper you found on the rooftop. And hey, it's a photo of our victim. You're right. Someone wrote a message on the poster. Annie, you are the freak, and it's signed by the Hanoi sisters. Who do you think these Hanoi sisters might be, Matthew? Hello, Commissioner Matthew. We heard our name. What can we do for you? Eee! Are you alright, miss? Yes, sorry. I've just never seen conjoined twins before. Don't worry, we're used to people staring at us. We're one of the attractions of the circus. We are literally joined at the hip, so we have to go everywhere together. But we also have 2 heads, so we don't always agree on everything. Hey, it's you who... No, oh, don't you dare start that again. Ladies, please. Commissioner Matthew's right. We need to talk to you about this picture you sent to Annie. We're investigating her murder. About their relationship with the victim? Alright, ladies, what can you tell us about this picture? Why did you call Annie a freak? We were just teasing her. Annie was full of herself. Like most beautiful girls, she thought having only 1 head made her better than us. So you were jealous of her? I wasn't, but my sister was. What? You said you hated her. Ladies, if Commissioner Matthew finds out you killed Annie, both of you will go to jail. So there's no use fighting. Matthew, I never met conjoined twins before. Imagine being stuck with someone for your whole life. I mean, Frank is hard enough to tolerate for 15 minutes. You're right, there are many strange things in life, and more in a circus, but I can't imagine what else this investigation will turn up. Freaky stuff. I'll let these 2 run their courses, see you for them. Hello folks, it is Matthew. We are back. The results of the white powder has just gone through, so I'm going to get the results right now. Hello Matthew, I hear you ran away from the circus, only to bring back more lab work for me. Anyway, the white powdery substance you collected from the poster was a highly purified form of calcium carbonate, commonly known as limestone. To be exact, the soft powdery variety of limestone the killer left on the poster is chalk. So the killer uses chalk. Maybe they like to play hopscotch and they aren't killing people, but only until Matthew catches them. I'll let the autopsy run its course, see you for that. Alright, good morning folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to get the results of the victim's body for death at the circus, case 52. I did level up off camera to 235. Hello Matthew, I hear things are a bit up in the air with your latest investigation, especially the victim. Roxy, do you have a bad pun for every imaginable way a person can die? Actually, for this murder, I have 2. You could also say the poor victim's life was hanging by a thread. Not only was she suspended in midair by those silk ropes, but the silk rope also served as the murder weapon to strangle her. So a circus artist killed with their own props. But what about the killer? Did you find anything that could narrow down the search? I did find a strange chemical in the strangulation wounds, which must have been transferred from the rope the killer used. It turned out to be fruit syrup diluted in water. The molecular structure of the solution indicated that the water was frozen, which led me to believe that the mixture was shaved ice. Shaved ice? You mean those colorful icy desserts sold near amusement parks and circuses? That makes sense. Makes sense if you live in Hawaii too, because that's where I live. So we're dealing with a killer who eats shaved ice. Well, their sweet tooth will be their downfall, Matthew. Matthew, this case is more surprises than a magician's box. We found an acrobat hung from the circus ceiling, murdered, but who could have done it? Coco the clown wasn't on good terms with Annie, but grumpiness could just be his personality, or do you think clowns get burnt out too? And the Hanoi sisters were clearly jealous of Annie. She was pretty, successful, and perhaps cruel to the sisters because of their rare condition. Matthew, I just found out your victim called the police before she died. She said her life was in danger. We're gonna find out why in Chapter 2. See you for that. Hi everyone, it's Matthew. We are back. Ready to do Chapter 2 of Pacific Bay Case 52, Death at the Circus. Let's go to Chapter 2. Matthew, I just found out your victim called the police just before she died. She said her life was in danger. According to the call log, the line got cut off before Annie could say anything else. But the interesting thing is that she wasn't calling from the circus. So Annie knew someone was after her and fled the circus? Hannah, we need to know where she went. I know, that's why I checked the cell tower data and found the call was made from the Wax Wonders Wax Museum. Big ripoff if you ask me, but that's where Annie called from. A wax museum? You mean those places where you can see wax lookalikes of celebrities? I've always found them creepy. You're right, Matthew. If our victim went to hide in that wax museum, we'd better go and have a look around. Using my inspiration, Ace Charming. Okay, Trevor. Lots of spare parts. Circus banner. Skateboard. 6 seconds, not bad. So, Matthew, did you find any trace of Annie's presence in this museum? You found a phone? You're right, it could be hers. Let's unlock it quickly so we can access the data. And this banner shows our victim's face, too. But who is the man with her? Do you think you could find his name in the database, Matthew? And I don't know what you expect to find in this box, but I'll let you look through it. You've always been faster than me. I'll grab a few more stars, I'll be right back. Okay, I just got me some more stars, I'm up to 20. Let's examine the cell phone. GSC, yep. Decipher the code. Good work unlocking the phone you found in the Wax Museum, Matthew. Let's send it to Hannah. Okay, 12 hours. Examining it right now. Box of spare parts. There we go. A top hat. Perfect. What did you find in that box of spare parts? A top hat? Isn't it just a prop for the statues? Oh, of course, there's the circus logo on the top. It must belong to Orsino Ziegfeld, the circus master. But how could his hat have ended up here, in the Wax Museum? Do you think Ziegfeld followed Annie here and lost his hat while he was spying on her? I agree, Matthew. We need to question Mr. Ziegfeld about this. About the hat found in the Wax Museum? I don't think he could have done it. Roll up, ladies, and Mr. Ziegfeld, Commissioner Matthew found this hat in the Wax Museum. It looks amazingly like the one you have on your head. Did you go to the museum recently? Well, as a matter of fact, I did, yes. Thanks for bringing me my spare hat back, Commissioner Matthew. Mr. Ziegfeld, we have proof that Annie ran away from the circus and hid in the Wax Museum shortly before she died. Did you follow her there? Of course I did. When my employee runs away from her duties, it is my right to bring her back. I see. Why did Annie want to run away exactly? She complained that I made her work too hard. Bah! The circus is only meant to be fun for the audience, Commissioner Matthew. For the artists, it's blood, sweat, and tears. But I'm their master, and they owe me loyalty. I had to set an example and discipline her, lest all the artists threaten to leave me. Discipline her? What exactly did you do to the poor girl, Ziegfeld? Drag her back to the circus and kill her on stage to teach the rest of your employees a lesson? That's nonsense. I told you I needed Annie. She was my best acrobat. Besides, I never found her in the museum. I even bought her shaved ice to show her I forgave her, to cajole her back. But I never had the chance to give it to her. She disappeared. Matthew, who knew the circus was such a harsh world? Orsino Ziegfeld apparently thinks that if the artists aren't suffering, they don't work hard enough. Annie tried to escape, but she didn't get far. The question is, who stopped her? Let's keep investigating and find out. Look at the circus banner. Alright, Matthew, let's see if you can identify the man who's with our victim on the circus banner. Just in time. Mikey Bolero. So the man on the circus banner with Annie is another acrobat, a certain Mikey Bolero. He was Annie's stage partner. He certainly looks like he can dazzle the audience, this Mikey. I mean, we must question Mr. Bolero about our victim. Let's go, Matthew. About the victim's stage partner. Annie's dead? But that can't be. My life is over. It's nice to finally talk to someone who's genuinely upset at Annie's demise, Mr. Bolero. What was your relationship to her? We performed together in a double act. Annie and Mikey, the two airborne angels of paradise. What am I going to do without her? I can't do a double act alone, Commissioner Matthew. I know this is hard for you, Mr. Bolero, but when did you last see Annie alive? After last night's performance, I washed the chalk off my hands and had a cup of shaved ice to relax. I wanted to spend a quiet evening, but Annie went out to party. Oh, Commissioner Matthew, if only she stayed with me, she might still be alive. Well, unfortunately, he's put himself in the running. I'll let the phone run its course. I'll see you for that. Hey folks, it is Matthew. We are back. I'm going to speed this up. Hello, Matthew. I've checked the phone you found in the Wax Museum. It's definitely the phone Annie used to make the emergency call before she died. But aside from that, Annie barely used her phone. No pictures, hardly any... But aside from that, Annie barely used her phone. No pictures, hardly any contacts, no browsing history. That girl had no life even when she was alive. Well, it's hard to take selfies while twirling on a rope. Besides, all the witnesses keep saying circus life is tough. She must have worked day and night. There was, however, one guy who messaged her about 50 times just days before her death. I managed to trace the number back to a certain Freddie Gomez. Surprise, surprise, he works at the Wax Museum. You're right, Matthew, it's time to turn the spotlight on this Mr. Gomez. About his messages to the victim. This guy's pretty creepy. How may I help you, Commissioner Matthew? Hello, Mr. Gomez. We're investigating the death of Annie Capri. How did you get to know her? I'm a big fan of the circus. I saw Annie perform. I was so enthralled I dropped my shaved ice. She was beautiful and talented, like an angel. Is that why you kept messaging her? It sounds a bit like harassment, to be honest. I was only trying to be friendly. Annie kept saying she was fine, but I could tell she was in need of protection. I finally convinced her to come hide in my wax museum, but she didn't stay long. She said my sculptures creeped her out. Mr. Gomez, Annie called the police before she died. From here, she said her life was in danger. And I tried to protect her. Surely you cannot blame me for her own failure to stay here, where she was safe. I'm very sorry to hear that she's dead. Another poor, vulnerable girl swallowed by the underbelly of paradise. Ugh, Matthew, this Freddy guy gives me the creeps. Annie must have been desperate for a hiding place to ever give him the time of day. Anyway, everything seems to hinge on Annie's last moments before she ran away. You're right, we should have another look at the rooftop since she came from there. Here we go. Faded moon. Wow, already up to 16th. Do you think something could be hidden in that big storage box, Matthew? You'll have to unlock it to find out. And you picked up a decoration too? A wooden moon? You're right, Annie's name is written on it. Can you reveal the rest of the text? I'm going to get to it right now. Storage box first. Yep. Oh no, NRB. There we are. Great, you unlocked the storage box you found on the rooftop. Now you just have to rummage through the contents. Okay. Got it. Coco, I'll pay you back, Annie. Oh, Matthew, that piggy bank you found in the storage box is cute. Look, it has a clown face. You're right, it's broken. And there's a message written on its side. Coco, I'll pay you back, Annie. It looks like Annie took money from Coco the clown. You're right, Matthew, we have to ask Coco about this. About the piggy bank. Mr. Coco, you told us last time that you and Annie didn't get along. She looked down on clowns and made fun of you, but you didn't tell us everything, did you? Oh, there's always more, Commissioner Matthew. Like when Annie threw a bucket full of ice over me, pretending it was part of her show, just to make fun of my love of shaved ice. She thought it was funny, but it ruined my makeup. It takes hours to apply this chalk, Commissioner Matthew. How about when Annie stole money from you, Coco? Tell us how that happened. I've been saving that money for years, Commissioner Matthew. I wanted to go to drama school. Of course, Annie mocked that, too. She said I'd never be an actor. And one day, the money disappeared, and so did Annie. All she left was that message on the piggy bank. She ran away with my savings. Well, if her adventure ended in tragedy because of you, Commissioner Matthew will have the last laugh, Coco. Well, he's in the running. from a towel cross for this. Matthew, you reveal the writing on the wooden moon you found on the rooftop. It reads, Annie, you'll hang from a towel cross for this. I have no idea what a towel cross is, but someone threatened to hang Annie, and that's exactly how she died. You're right, Matthew. There must be some more to this than meets the eye. Looks like a job for Russell. Let's send the wooden moon to him. Hours. Okay, I'll let it run its course. See you for that. Okay, folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to get the results of the message on the moon. Hello, Matthew. I don't mean to spook you, but this wooden moon is a very unsettling clue. What do you mean? Did you figure out who wrote that message to Annie? Several elements show that it was the killer. First, there's the threat of hanging, which is how Annie died. But the choice of the moon and the Greek letter tau is also significant. They're both ancient symbols of death, destruction, and madness. Then it struck me. The killer was using tarot imagery. The tau cross refers to a card called the Hanged Man, and the moon is another card. So Annie's killer used these ancient tarot card symbols to threaten her? Exactly. The cards have very complex meanings. They could be betrayal or revenge. All I can say is that the killer knows this tradition very well. But Matthew knows the tradition of arresting killers even better. I'll write down this new evidence. The killer reads tarot cards.
Seems like a custard mixture. It's going to be layered with eggplant and tomato sauce.
Matthew, this case is such a roller coaster. We've learned that Annie was afraid for her life, so she decided to leave the circus, which made the ringmaster very angry. Apparently, Ziegfeld rules the circus with an iron fist, though he claims he didn't do Annie any harm. Annie stole money from Coco the Clown to finance her escape. Coco wasn't amused. She then sought refuge at the Wax Museum with the help of Freddy Gomez. He sure makes my skin crawl, but is he a killer? Commissioner Matthew, we have to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death. Okay.
Another layer of
We'll get to chapter 3 after this. See you for that. Alright, folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to start chapter 3, The Death of the Circus. Commissioner Matthew, we have to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death. It's about Annie's killer. My sister didn't want to come, but I insisted, and... What? You didn't want to come? Oh, for Pete's sake, stop fighting. If you have any information about Annie's killer, you must tell Commissioner Matthew immediately. The cards do not reveal the identity of the killer, but we know they'll kill again if you don't catch them in time. We see death and violence in the cards. Even you might be in danger, Commissioner Matthew. The cards have also shown us a strange place, a museum full of wax figures. That's where Annie's killer is going. That's where you'll find the answers. Enough of this nonsense. The police don't rely on fortune-telling to catch killers. Commissioner Matthew will interrogate you again, ladies. You can leave your cards in the evidence locker. But you're right, Matthew. We'll go back to the Wax Museum just to make sure everything's in order. Let's go.
That's everybody. Now, if you want to talk to your master, I can see to it that you're incarcerated in a medium security facility. Get out of here, will you?
Let's find out what they really want.
Just thought I'd ask.
Alright, ladies, spare us the fortune-telling nonsense and stick to the facts. We know you and Annie didn't get along, so why are you suddenly so keen to help the investigation? Commissioner Matthew, the circus is a small, closed world. If there's a killer among us, we want to help you find them before they kill someone else. Alright, well, did you notice anything unusual in the circus lately? Well, one night someone drank my shaved ice, but I think it was my sister. Liar. And I know you stole the chalk I used to mix our makeup. Don't deny it. What? That's ridiculous. I never... Oh, this is not helping. What about you, Annie? Did you know she wanted... What about Annie? Did you know she wanted to leave the circus? Nobody leaves the circus, Commissioner Matthew. We told you it's a small world. We all live and die there. It's our fate, written in the card. It's our fate. It's written in the cards. Now they're in the running.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Sorry for the slight delay, folks. Had to check something. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there's a suitcase. Broken pieces. Candle. Belt.
Corporation on Queens Boulevard. Burnham Woods. They make a nice golf club. Titanium. I don't play.
Matthew found Annie's suitcase. There's her name on it. Open it. Let's see what's in there. And you think that broken thing is a clue? Alright, piece it back together. But hurry. We have to stop the killer before they kill again. I'm going to quickly do these before I go to my work. Examine the broken pieces first. There we are. Mountie, those pieces you just restored were fragments of a face. I don't know why, but it's sending shivers down my spine. You're right, we should send this face to the lab at once. Okay, 9 hours. Annie's suitcase.
Light, crispy taste of Lay's potato chips. We need to die. One taste, and you're in love.
CRX, yep. NAQ, Got it open. Great, you've unlocked the victim's suitcase you found in the wax museum. Now you only have to search through Annie's belongings. I'm sure you'll be decked like an acrobat, Matthew. Just don't end up dead like one. Examine Annie's belongings.
Just make sure you call her.
There we are. Mikey, run away with me, love Annie. To Ivywood. Matthew found a map in Annie's suitcase, and there's a message on it. Mikey, run away with me, love Annie. Looks like Annie asked her partner, Mikey Bolero, to lead the circus with her. But why didn't Mikey mention this before? You're right, Matthew, we'd better talk to him again. Mr. Bolero, Commissioner Matthew found the message Annie left you on this map. Why didn't you tell us she wanted you to run away with her? Oh, Commissioner Matthew, Ivywood was just a dream for us. Life is hard in the circus and Annie was often unhappy. We all need something to look forward to. I promised Annie our dreams would come true one day. I read it in my tarot cards. And it was true. We just perfected our double act. Even if our life was tied to the circus, it wasn't always bad. But then, why did Annie run away alone? I ask myself that question every day, Commissioner Matthew. If only she could have stayed strong, but now she's dead, and our dreams are shattered forever. Mr. Bolero, I feel very sorry for you, but if Commissioner Matthew finds out it was you who shattered Annie's dreams, it'll take more than tears to save you. He is in the running now. Let the plaster mold run its course, and I'll see you for that. Okay, folks, it is Matthew here. We are back playing Criminal Case on Facebook. Code pitching Ace 88. And we're now going to do Death at the Circus. Let's get the results of the plaster mold. Matthew, this plaster face you sent me is a mold for making wax statues. The first step of making a wax statue is to make a plaster mold, like this, by putting a layer of hot gypsum directly on the person's face, and then... Jan, we don't have time for an art lesson now. We're worried about what the killer might do next if we don't stop them in time. Alright. Excuse me. I found some DNA inside the mold, and it matched the DNA of Annie Capri. So the mold is of our victim's face. Somebody wanted to make a statue of her? Ugh, Matthew, you're right. It could only be that creepy museum guy, Freddy Gomez. Let's go talk to him. Why, he made a wax mold of Annie's face? Mr. Gomez, Commissioner Matthews found out about your little art project involving Annie Capri. Ah, yes. I wanted to immortalize her in wax. I'm an artist, and she was a beautiful girl. I offered her a place to stay, so letting me turn her into wax was the least she could do in return. Except the mold was broken. What happened? Annie had trust issues, Commissioner Matthew. When I showed her my sketches of her, she freaked out for no reason. She even broke my chalk crayons. I tried to reassure her by reading her fortune with my tarot cards, but she went completely hysterical. I told her the hanged man didn't mean anything bad, but she wouldn't believe me. I don't understand these young girls, Matthew. They always run away from me. Annie was safe here. She would still be alive if she'd stayed with me. Well, now he's in the running. Matthew, we still don't know who killed Annie, and time is running out. You discovered that Annie asked her partner, Mikey Bolero, to run away with her. We don't know what went wrong with their plan. But we know that Annie sought refuge at Freddy's Wax Museum. She got frightened when Freddy tried to immortalize her in wax, and I can't blame her. And the Hanoi sisters just seem to want attention, with their fortune-telling and bickering, but it's hard to tell what they're playing at. Matthew, you think we should go back to the circus for the final act? Well, I won't let you go alone. I'll catch you if you fall. You can count on me. Hopefully I'll get some coins. Torn fabric. Ballet shoes. Bra. Torch. Banjo and a card. It's 18th. Matthew, you found a tarot card. This can't be a coincidence. This must have been left behind by Annie's tarot-loving killer. There's some bright red substance on the card. Quick, Matthew, let's collect a sample. We're so close to catching this killer. And you found a piece of fabric, too. You're right, it looks like part of Annie's outfit. The fabric's stained with something. Can you collect a sample of that too? Let's show the killer who runs the show in this circus, Matthew. Let's. Why not? Let's examine the torn fabric first. I have way more than enough stars. Good job, Matthew. You collected a perfect sample of that white substance on the torn piece of Annie's costume. Let's send the sample to the lab and let the curtains fall on this investigation. Okay, 9 hours. Voila! Great, you collected a sample of the red substance from the tarot card you found in the circus. Let's send the sample to Jan. I'm no fortune teller, but I can predict our killer's luck is finally running out. Okay, 15 hours. I will let these two run their courses. So for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you when they do.
You could describe him to a sketch artist? Easily. The guy's a creep. Well, look who is back.
Okay, folks, it is Matthew. We are back. And we're now going to get the results of the white substance. Matthew, this white substance you collected from Annie's torn costume is beeswax. Before you tell me to go faster, Amy, let me clarify. This wax is mixed with honey and natural oils. This is what gentlemen use to give one's mustache a healthy shine. Mustache wax? You're right, Matthew. It's not something Annie would use, which means it could only have come from the killer. And now we know the killer has a mustache. It's time for the final showdown, Matthew.
Get away from my girlfriend.
I know what you asked me to. Doug, leave us alone.
And I'm going to speed this up. Matthew, this red substance you collected from the tarot card was an interesting compound of pigments, emollients, and oil. Any chance you could give us a short version, Jan? A sadistic killer's on the loose and every minute counts. Alright, this red substance is makeup. More precisely, a very resistant face paint used by performance artists. Now you're talking. So the killer wears red face paint. Well, at least they can hide their embarrassment a little when Matthew arrests them. Matthew, you collected enough evidence to arrest the killer. The show is over. Let's go get them. Let's do that. Excuse me.
You can draw a circle, a square, rectangle, triangle, trapezoid, really anything. Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
It's not the ringmaster. It's not Coco the Magnificent. It's not the Hanoi sisters. It's not Freddie Gomez.
The ER has a pulse.
I'm afraid it's the acrobat.
It's slow, steady, but it can start to race. Now,
Mikey Bolero, Commissioner Matthews arresting you for the murder of Annie Capri. What? I didn't kill Annie, Commissioner Matthew. She was all I had on this earth, and in the air. Stop lying, Mikey. You systematically threatened to kill Annie, leaving clues everywhere, like that poster on which you wrote, "Die." Nonsense! It wasn't me. I loved Annie. Then why did Commissioner Matthew find your face paint on this tarot card? Yet another way you try to intimidate Annie. Death in tarot means good luck, Commissioner Matthew. I told you, Annie and I planned our future together. Stop lying. You let your mustache wax on her torn costume, probably when you were hanging her from these ropes. How could you do this to your partner? I see there's no point in pretending any longer, Commissioner Matthew. Yes, I did kill Annie, but only because she wanted to leave. The circus is my life. It's all I've ever known. I will never leave it, and because of our double act, I couldn't let Annie leave either. I wasn't unreasonable. I tried to make her understand she had nowhere to run, that I would always find her and drag her back here, but she wouldn't listen. You thought you could force her to stay against her will? But what happened to loving her? She was my partner. She owed me loyalty. I found her in the wax museum, took her back to the circus, and strangled her with her own ropes. I loved Annie, Commissioner Matthew, and I gave her the most glorious death an acrobat can dream of. Everyone will remember her forever, suspended above the stage. And everyone will remember you as the crazy guy who killed her. Mikey Bolero, you're under arrest. Mikey Bolero, you stand trial for the murder of Annie Capri. She was your acrobatic partner in the circus, right? Yes, Your Honor, and I loved her. I loved her more than she deserved, so I allowed her to die on the stage, beautiful and angelic forever. So it was a work accident? Alright, the court hereby orders a health and safety inspection of Paradise Circus. Apparently the working conditions leave a lot to be desired. No, I killed her on purpose, Your Honor. Killing is also a form of performance art. If Commissioner Matthew hadn't stopped me, I could have shown you all. Lucky for us, Commissioner Matthew never sleeps. Mr. Bolero, this court sentences you to 30 years in jail. Please inform the prison wardens if you have escape artist skills, though. All rise. Matthew, I'll never think of the circus the same way again. Who knew the happy facade hid such darkness and misery? You're right, Paradise City only seems to be a paradise for con men, thieves, and grifters. For ordinary people, it's the same daily grind as everywhere else. But at least you're here to make it a little better, one case at a time. Onwards and upwards, Matthew.
Doug Loveless. Your name says you can't keep a girlfriend. Doug, your real name?
Well, we know Mikey Bolero's guilty. Let's see the others. Orsino Ziegfeld, he was cleared because he doesn't use chalk and everything else. Coco the Magnificent was cleared. He doesn't even read tarot cards. The Hanoi sisters almost made it. They don't wear a mustache, though. What woman wears a mustache? Freddie Gomez also made the cut. Almost made the cut. He doesn't wear red face paint. So I'll see you guys for the AI. See you for that. Okay, folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to do the Big Heist Part 2, the additional investigation. Commissioner Matthew, the Menagio is the biggest casino here, and I'm convinced Louis Tirico is planning to pull off the heist of the century and rob it. Well, we need to go on more than just a feeling, Eugenia, but that's why I've given Commissioner Matthew the order to investigate and gather all the information needed. And don't worry, unlike most people in Paradise City, you can count on Commissioner Matthew. They never lose.
His face won't put him away. We have nothing proving he was in that alley Monday, or tying him to the knife found in the victim.
Ah, Commissioner Matthew, I was looking for you. That was quite a trial, hey? I can't stop thinking about how badly people are treated in that circus. We need to do something about it. Will you help me? You're lucky Matthew can never say no, sir. I'm sure they'll be happy to take you to the circus to have a look around. Commissioner Matthew, there you are. Miss Hestentrope, what do you want this time? To stop the master thieves from robbing my casino. As we've said, we'll keep an eye out for suspicious activity, but we can't do much else. Well, luckily, I sent some of my men to keep an eye on Louis Tirico, and I'm telling you, he's putting together a team to rob my casino. Apparently, Louis was seen at some rooftop party talking to a clown. Does that sound suspicious or what? Some days, anything seems possible, but Commissioner Matthew's right. We'll go talk to that clown. Which reminds you, Matthew, you also need to go to the circus with Judge Dante.
It's just when I first met her, I guess I felt
Alive again.
yes. I headed to the airport. Then I thought, what am I doing?
I'm gonna go to the
I don't care about this
clown first. Coco witnesses report seeing you speaking with Louis Tirico at the rooftop party. What did he want with you? Why do you care who I talk to? Can't a clown have some privacy? Not when it comes to talking to master criminals who could be planning a huge casino heist. Louis is preparing a heist? Look, Louis is a cousin of mine. I wish he wasn't, but he is. Joke's on me, I guess. So what did Louis want with you then? I don't know. He came by the rooftop party trying to talk to me, but I don't want anything to do with the thief, so I threw a pie in his face. I agree. Commissioner Matthew, let's go search the rooftop. We need to see if Louis left anything behind.
So are you saying that the swing set was your idea?
Jerry is Mr. Vanilla.
And you didn't care about Casano?
I only care about him screwing us, destroying our future. Jerry was taking money out of my checking account. Jeanette's college fund, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, all of it coming out of our pockets and going into hers.
trash can, stars, bathtub. Voila!
Do something bad. I just sat in the dark house drinking.
Until you grabbed the knife.
I went down to the club. I waited in the...
Did you find anything, Matthew? A trash can? Yes, I'm sure I can find some dirt in there.
I swear when you came by the next day and told me he was alive, I was happy. I was just so drunk the night before, and I was so angry about it.
Perfect. Plan heist at Wax Museum. Uh-oh. A matchbox. Okay, Matthew, what did you find in the trash can? Apart from trash, of course. A matchbox? And you're right, there's a message on it. Plan heist at Wax Museum. What? Do you seriously think these casino robbers could be so dumb as to write such a message on a matchbox? Well, that's true. It's not signed and nobody expects the cops to search through the trash, but still. You're right, Matthew. I should stop thinking about the logic behind it and act on this new intel. If they plan a heist at the Wax Museum, we need to go there now.
Thought I told you clowns to get me a lawyer. It's your lucky day. You're leaving. It's our lucky day, too. Couldn't make your case. It's got a sting. Only pain's gonna be yours. Right by that.
Seems to be raining outside. Lock tape recorder.
Have a nice day.
Scissors.
Guys got more balls.
Concert poster. Tablet. Target. Top hat. Arrow.
I'll put Logan on his tail so he doesn't have a chance.
Voila. So, Matthew, did you find anything related to the heist? A tape recorder? I was expecting something a bit more exciting. You're right, Matthew. I shouldn't jump to conclusions too quickly. This tape recorder might hold some juicy intel. We need to unlock it. Now let's examine the locked tape recorder. BG6, yep. Oh no. GX8. Just in time. Excellent work, Matthew. You unlocked that tape recorder you found in the Wax Museum in no time. Let's hope it holds information on this heist we keep hearing about. Come on, let's send the recorder to Hannah.
Absolute best with the least amount of effort. There lies your greatest chance.
6 hours. Now let's investigate the circus.
The thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Every adult knows what that is. That's not a gift.
Catch more daytime chats weekdays from 11 to 3 on
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm just not having any luck dating.
Faded flyer. Spinning top.
That sounds great.
There we go.
I decide how much I need, and my bills are about half what they used to be. I call it the jackpot.
How much bonus is just right for you with Consumer Cellular? You
Okay.
name it. You'll never pay for more than you need.
Matthew, I didn't expect the circus to look so much like the courthouse. A big mess everywhere. Official documents lying about. The writing all faded on them. I feel at home. The paper says all genuine freaks. You think you can retrieve the rest of the writing? You do it every day? Ah, yes, you work for the police. Alright, get on with it then. Feels kind of strange having a judge right beside me, but It doesn't matter.
So I asked my husband to pick up more of Misty's cat. The one we've been feeding her for years. He comes back with this blue buffalo
Circus flyer?
blue healthy.
Oh, so that paper was an old circus flyer. Tell me, what's the featured act?
That's good.
Conjoined twins. Wow, imagine that, having someone to talk to every minute of your life. Though I guess I already talk to myself more than any person should. But this headline, all genuine freaks. How dreadful. Those girls aren't freaks. They look so young here. Have they been in the circus their whole lives? Matthew, we should try to learn more about those girls. I agree. You know someone who could compile some information for us? Splendid. Let's send that flyer to your lab. Well, that's the first for everything.
Fancy packaging.
9 hours.
My baby deserves the best. Blue healthy gourmet.
I'll let these two are in their courses, so for now, this is Matthew. See you in a few hours. Okay, folks, it is Matthew here, and we are back, and we're now going to get the results of the tape recorder first. I listened to that tape recorder you found at the Wax Museum, Matthew. The recording caught a man's voice, but the reverberations around the room made it impossible to identify him. Drats, did you at least hear anything about a possible heist? Boy, Drats is so old. Probably when I was growing up. Did I ever? The man talked about nothing else but an elaborate casino heist, the biggest one of the century. And to pull it off, they need disguises and perfect timing. They said they couldn't rush this one. The man then asked somebody a question about creating wax body parts, and that's when the recording cut out. Wax body parts? You're right, Matthew. He must have been talking to Freddy. I hope I never have to see him again, but we need to go question him. About the heist? We got you, Freddy. Commissioner Matthew has got proof you're involved in a big heist that's about to happen here in Paradise City. What? I'm just a humble artist, Commissioner Matthew. All I do is make wax statues, admire pretty girls, and lead a quiet life. Stop lying, Freddy. We know your wax museum is somehow part of the plan. The heist leaders mentioned it in their secret correspondence. Well, maybe they're planning to rob my museum. I promise to let you know if any of my statues go missing, Commissioner Matthew. Maybe one day I'll have the honor of immortalizing you in wax, Commissioner Matthew. Until then, take this as a token of good faith. A ringmaster uniform, cool. I agree, Matthew. Freddy was clearly playing dumb with us. At least we're one step closer to finding proof that the heist of the century is being planned, which means we're one step closer to catching those thieves. Well, 2 coins already. Get the results of the flyer. Matthew, I had a look at the... Judge Dante! What a surprise! Are you lost? Of course not. Matthew let me tag along. I want to investigate how the circus members are being treated. It doesn't look good, judging from that flyer Matthew brought you. Right on the money, sir. I looked into the Hanoi sisters' background, and it isn't a happy story. Matthew, the flyer you found is from the show in which the Hanoi sisters made their first appearance, just after they joined the circus. But they didn't quite join by choice. They were sold and bought by the circus. Bought? You mean someone bought those girls like they were objects or animals? Yes, the previous circus master found them in Vietnam and paid good money to their parents, promising a better life for their children in Pacific Bay. Parading them around as circus freaks doesn't sound better to me. I agree, Matthew. We should go talk to these women, try to help them out. Okay, let's see how the Hanoi sisters need help. You poor girls, you live such miserable lives being forced to work for the circus. Here, come quick with me. I'll help you escape. Not sure you'll be able to hide very well, but we'll find a way to save you. Excuse me, sir, you don't need to take us anywhere. We're just fine here at the circus. Yeah, we love the circus, actually. It's the one place where people look at us in awe and excitement rather than in disgust. Plus, we get paid just to be ourselves. Not very much, though. The ringmaster barely pays us. and we are quite overworked. But when we complain, he just locks us up in the cage. What? That's terrible. Why don't you report him? We have no proof, and we're too afraid to go against him. He might fire us, leaving us with no work. So I wouldn't put it past him to try to get revenge. Well, you don't need to be afraid anymore. We've got Commissioner Matthew on the case. I bet they can find some proof of the ringmaster's bad treatment. Shall we have another look around the circus, Matthew? This detective work is so much fun. But let's take a break first. I want to treat these lovely ladies to lunch. Does this mean I'm going to have to wait again? We'll find out. Okay. Oh. Torn photo. Dagger. Metal chain. Scroll. There. Let's see, popcorn, balloon, gun, star, sack, and the apple. I am also under happy hour, so that explains why I went with some of them with less hints. Matthew, did you find anything that will help us prosecute the ringmaster? Hopefully not just some rings. Do you think these torn pieces of paper would help? But my dear, you won't scare anyone with that. Oh, you intend to piece it together for the real clue? Well, let's hope it's something fantastically clue-worthy. Count on it, Judge. Of course, the torn photo. You gotta think that the Hanoi sisters had some kind of birth defect or something. It's hard to say, really. That'd be enough to freak me out a little bit. Just got the picture done. Matthew, that picture you restored is outrageous. I don't know what keeps me from hitting that man right on the top of his noggin with my gavel. No, I will not calm down, Matthew. This man is locking the poor Hanoi sisters in a cage as if they were animals. And I don't like it when people put animals in cages either. When I was a kid, I used to have a pet gerbil. Well, I never put him in a cage. Of course, I lost him after 2 days, but at least he was free. Sorry, I'm digressing again. You're absolutely right. This is the proof you need to force Mr. Ringmaster to quit his evil ways. Let's go confront him, Matthew. Orsino Ziegfeld with the proof of his abuse. Your Honor, what a pleasure to see you in our humble circus. Take a seat and be prepared to be amazed. We have freaks the likes of which you have never seen before. This is precisely why Commissioner Matthew and I have come to see you, Mr. Ringmaster. We do not like the way you treat those freaks you speak of. Particularly the Hanoi sisters, splendid women who do not deserve to be locked up in a cage for speaking up about your inhumanity. Well, I need to be strict to be able to keep all my circus members in order. It's hard work, you know, managing a team. Not to mention a team of outcasts. Locking people up and not paying them would be considered very poor management skills, Mr. Ringmaster. And unless you yourself want to be locked up, you'd better change your tactics. Your Honor, please. I've got a circus to run. I've got children of all ages to please and entertain. You can't lock me up. Well, then you'd better start paying all of your employees what they deserve, and that means 2 paychecks for the twins, and hand over the lock to that cage. Nobody's going in there anymore. 2 paychecks? But, okay, fine. If that will make them happy, those 2 are positively too demanding. They're demanding respect. We'll let you off with a fine this time, but if we hear you're still not treating your circus members right, we'll make sure it's your final act ever before life in prison. Well, he got lucky. If this were Hawaii, this guy probably wouldn't even see the light of day. Eugenia, Commissioner Matthew has made progress. We don't know if it's Luis Dorico yet, but someone is definitely putting a team together for a huge casino heist. That's what I've been telling you. You need to make a move and arrest these thieves before it's too late. No, first you need to find out what they're planning and where they are planning the heist, and we need to catch them in the act. It's the only way to put them away for good. Commissioner Matthew, it's time we put together a sting operation. We need to watch the thieves' every move, and once we know which casino they're going to rob, we'll be waiting for them. So I won't have to wait. Getting a gold medal. Am I planning to buy any more pets? I'm not quite sure. But we'll go ahead and see what happens. So for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you for case number 53.